What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. Match reaction time. Very disappointing. Very disappointing result in the end. Leeds United go 2-0 down to Manchester United at home. It's kind of story of our season in terms of the way that we perform throughout a majority of the game. But that doesn't get you points at the end of the day. Listen, we're still now 17th in the league, not even hitting that 20 points mark. And yeah, it's unfortunate today. It really is unfortunate, but it tells you the difference between the two teams straight away. I am not at 100% today, as you can probably tell by my voice, but I will get through this. Of course, I will. You know what? I will battle through. You know what I mean? I've had a bit of the man cold, so violins in the chat, and I'm sure the 10% of women that watch this have just rolled in their eyes. No problem. Smash a like if you're watching and watching the replay. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and drop your comments in after. Yeah, I mean, listen, it does feel like we've thrown that one away. It really does. Jacob's got it right here. Shame to throw that one away, but that's the problem when you don't capitalize on the chances that you've had. And we had loads. We had more than enough to get a win in this game. I actually felt at 0-0 we should be disappointed not to get 3 points, and that was actually in the title. I was going to say disappointed not to get all 3 points, and in the end we come away with nothing, and it's disheartening. But going into the next couple of games, especially against Everton and Southampton, especially, you've got to take this and push forward with it and just get those clinical edges. You know, we're not going to be up against a David De Gea every week, but there were so many good performances today. But again, it feels kind of hollow and empty when you come away with no points. Yeah, Nate, I know. I'm not even going to properly highlight it, Nate. I mean, I've seen some comments. I think everyone just jumps on the train and then just copies and pastes what everyone else is saying, because this was literally his first home game. Like, he's not even started, and this was his first home game. Again, it still hasn't played regular football since November, and I don't know what people are expecting. I'm not sure what people are expecting. Yeah, Callum fell apart in the last 10 minutes. Absolutely. Leeds 1-2 saying so many peeps blaming Melier. Nah, not today. Not today. I think that the Rashford header was a good header. He lost Verba, who I thought Verba today was definitely his worst game that he's had for us in totality. And then the second one, Garnacho gave him the eyes. Garnacho looked like he was going to put it far corner, and then he puts it near post. I know they say keeper should never be beaten at your near post, but listen, it wasn't. That's not him. That's not on him. Let's have a look. What we expect is effort. He gave effort. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? He actually put through a chance for Somerville as well, and Somerville scores that. We've got Rutter has got an assist today. You know, he was linking up the play as well today. I'm not sure what everyone is talking about here. I'll be honest. I was kind of on my own with the alien thing on Wednesday about him having a real good first half and dropping off after 60 minutes. But no, listen, I think that Rutter, listen, he needs time to bed in. He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old. I'm not sure what everyone is expecting. What, because he's 35 million? Have you not seen the prices of players in the Premier League? I mean, that's just standard now these days. Doesn't mean that there's going to be quality straight away. It might take a couple more games. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm not going to write him off like everybody else is. What I would have said, though, in all fairness, because Bamford again had a quiet game, and Somerville put him through at one point, and you know, he didn't control it with his right and kind of left the ball behind. What I would have done is put on Rutter for Harrison instead of Bamford, and see what Bamford could have done with him at the top and Rutter in behind. That's just me personally, but I don't know. That's, see what you guys think. Lee Water, shout out to you, big supporter of the channel. Thank you for becoming a member. That the memberships are in the description. Thank you. Let's have a look. Very odd, man. Wow. But listen, let's get into it. Let's get into the game. Because although it doesn't feel like it now, there was a lot of good. But what Manchester United shown us today is when you've got clinical finishers, and that's what we had to look out for today. When you've got people, Rashford was quiet all game, but then he comes up and gets the opening goal. That's what you do. Whereas our players, there's still works in progress. Nanto had a quiet game himself today. Somerville, quiet. Bamford's not going to be that clinical finisher, but they're building themselves up to be that in terms of Nanto and Somerville, but we didn't quite get it from them today. But I thought Somerville was good overall today. I thought he was the most dangerous winger on the pitch. The only thing is he just couldn't find that finishing touch, which is a shame because he had quite a few good open looks as well. Yeah, it is a shoulda, woulda, coulda. I get it, but I've got to just analyze the game as it was and in totality. But yeah, absolutely, it was a shoulda, woulda, coulda. I've got the super chat starter. We'll come back to them. Let me just get into some comments as well. Andrew saying Harrison never seems to give Bamford chances. He seems to whip early balls in when it's not Bamford up front. Yeah, I mean, listen, Harrison. You know what? Yeah, Harrison today. I mean, listen. It was. I think you saw the best and worst of Harrison in the first half when he dispossessed Maguire. Excellent at dispossessing him. He ran through though and was unsure. The cavalry was late to arrive. So what you have to do then is just hold it, or just go around Maguire. And he didn't have the confidence to do either. He just ran into Maguire and Maguire cleared it out. For me, I think that kind of sums up Jack Harrison this season. I don't know how anyone else feels. Let me know. Let's have a look. Lee Waters saying, for me, when Harrison and Bamford came off, I feel we lost something. Harrison ran his socks off. I may be on my own with this one, but it took the sting out. Firpo actually had a good run out too. Firpo was brilliant today. Sancho came off, and listen, Firpo marshaled him well. And considering Firpo was on a yellow card on 18 minutes, listen, if I see any negative Firpo comments today, then it's obvious that you just can't see past your Firpo hate because he was good today. He was good in quite a few areas as well. Now let's go over to the other side in Luke Ayling, who was excellent today. Now the performance that people were telling me he had on Wednesday, I don't care what the stats say, that was the performance he had today. Luke Ayling was outstanding, absolutely outstanding today. I thought he was really, really good. This is where he had a complete 90-minute performance. It was complete. It wasn't just first half and then he got gassed out by 60 minutes. I thought he was a threat both defensively. I thought he was really good defensively, and he was a threat going forward too. And it's absolutely insane that we've got the right back signing so wrong that Rasmus has got no case to knock on anyone's door and say, I should be playing. Because even Ayling looks more composed in defensive situations right now than Rasmus has most of the season. So shout out to Luke Ayling today, because that for me was good. Listen, we know our fullbacks are probably our most vulnerable areas overall, but both of them today, very, very good. I've got no complaints. Maybe you guys can tell me differently, but I thought they were both magnificent in different ways. Because Sancho didn't get any change from Firpo today, not much anyway. Ricky saying he was great today. Firpo, even his yellow card was good. And the midfield, and again as well, midfield too of McKennie and Adams. Adams today was colossal. There was a time where Rashford did finally get free against Ayling. I think it was early in the second half, but then Adams just came back, doubled up on him, and won the ball back. He was magnificent today. That first minute tackle on Sancho as well, good old hip check, man. It was like watching hockey. It was beautiful. And McKennie as well covered the yards, got in tackles as well. That's what I'm saying. That's why it is just so disappointing that we didn't even get a point out today's game, because there were so many good performances, but we have to be more clinical. That's the main thing. Nate, new member, shout out to you, Nate. Thank you. Stephen Brown with the super chat. Unfortunately, we wasted so much time with Jesse. Hey, Jesse might be coming back soon. He might be coming back. Isaac, super chat. Thank you. Rutter did not have his best game, but I'm certain he'll come good for us eventually. Give him some time, lads. Yeah, I'm just very surprised to see the vitriol for Rutter when there's been worse players that have been given a lot more time than Jorginho seems to be getting from a lot of people. There's been worse players in our history, especially in our lower league days, where they give them seasons and they were absolutely poor. But he's been playing mostly sub. He got a start against Accrington. But yeah, listen, it is what it is. I'm not giving up on Rutter just yet. It's It's ridiculous, in my opinion, anyway. Michael saying it's clear new coach is needed, but who? I guess we'll see in the next couple of days. Um, Southampton, I don't know if everyone's heard, but Southampton are allegedly looking at Jesse Marsh. So that would be something, wouldn't it? It would just be us to get Jesse Marsh at Southampton in a couple of weeks' time. But listen, we've got to concentrate on our own house and get our own manager in order. And for me, what I would do, people asking me what I would do is I would get the money out for the Rayo Vallecano manager and pay the fee. Just pay the compensation, get a proper coach in, and get it done. That Alfred Schroeder that I saw that was in the crowd today, guys. I mean, he's literally been at his jobs in management for a season at a time. Then he gets sacked. I mean, that doesn't sound good to me. I don't know too much about him, but for me, I mean, that just doesn't fill me with any confidence. So go out and get your first man. I know it's been a bit difficult with the negotiations with Rayo Vallecano. Whatever his release clause is, even though his contract's coming to the end at the end of the season, pay it. Get the real coach in. Southampton are about to go on to their third manager this season because they've been so dire. You know what I mean? Get the manager you want in. Let's have a look. Isaac again with the super chat. Thank you, Isaac. I hope we convince our Areola to somehow. I'm sure he can sign quality players in the summer. Fran Garcia would be a quality left back from Ray. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know, Nate. Nate just saying here the release clause for Areola is complicated. The manager has to pay it and go through court. But we know the thing is, Nate, we know with these kind of things that yes, the manager may pay it, but Leeds will eventually like compensate him, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but that's manager talk. But the thing is, it is quite a big. It kind of rolls into today because there was a lot of. There was a lot of people saying that they would stick with Scoops to the end of the season off the back of the 2-2. But again, today, like on Wednesday, where I thought he could have taken off Ayling for Christensen when Ayling got tired, I think today it would have possibly been good to take off Harrison instead of Bamford. You know, Bamford didn't really look too impressed at the start when he first come off. I would have possibly taken off Harrison first. And we still got, you know, many people used to complain about this, by the way. We still got Greenwood coming on in the 80-something minute. You know, people used to criticize Jesse for that. We're still getting that. So for me, it is important. It's imperative that we get in a full-time coach for me. It's imperative. The temporary manager doesn't do it for me. Emmett saying, hope we don't go in for this Alfred Schroeder fella. He's 8-11 at the bookies now. I'm having anxiety attacks. He was in the crowd today. I'm not sure why. Hopefully he's just taking in a game, but no. David saying, yes, Harrison off rather than Bamford. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, at the start of the game, starting lineup, no complaints. I would have probably put Harrison on instead of Harrison, seeing as we Mark Rucker's not back yet for whatever reason. But no complaints. I wanted Fopa at left back, keep Verber and Cock together. We got that. Ayling was always going to keep his spot after Wednesday's performance. Everything else just fitted in as it should, with Sinistera out as well, and obviously Pascal out with concussion issues. So yeah, I felt that the lineup was good, and I thought we played all right. Listen, the game wasn't as good in quality as it was on Wednesday, but overall, we did have the better of the game, and that's why this is so disappointing. So disappointing. Let me just see if I missed anything. Liam Moore, shout out to you, Liam. Not an out and out. Are you trying to say not an out and out striker? You know I love you, but he's over dribbling the ball. Okay. Alex is saying, how do you get sacked at Ajax with the best players, most money in the league? Yeah, mate. Listen. McAllister Bishop, thank you. Fuming Cagey, good performance, wasted chances. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? It pretty much sums it up. Is that right? Shelley is saying that Schroeder was a guest of Man United. Okay, well, let's hope so. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Off you go. Okay, yeah, not an out-and-out striker. But Liam, I don't think that was ever going to be the thing for him to be the actual number 9. I think he's always been more of a forward anyway. He's not a prolific goal scorer, but I could see, let me just speak for myself. I could see what he was doing in terms of trying to link up play. He was dropping deep, much like he did against Accrington Stanley. And, better finishing today. He's got an assist. I know this it's the if game, but he did make some chances today. You know what I mean? Nabinho saying Bamford just can't take the ball with him when he's run that goal. I know that's what I'm saying. For me, Bamford has to be the link up guy. He has to be the glue in order to make Nanto and Somerville come through because you saw that Somerville put him clean through. All he had to do, I know he's heavily left footed, but he's got to move it onto his left and he just left the ball behind. It's a shame. It's a shame. Paul saying, KG, we lack execution in the final part of the field. We could easily have been 2-0 up at halftime. Easily, Paul. We could have easily had some goals today. But that's if we're going to cling on to anything today, that's where I'm hoping it will be different in the future games because now, a lot of people always say this. A lot of people always say this to me. When is it a must win? It doesn't get much more must win than Everton and Southampton coming up next in the league. It really doesn't. We're seeing our mini league. There seems to be a game every week between our mini league and points are being gotten. We're getting left behind now. We are 19 still, not even hitting 20. We need to start picking up points in these games. We have to pick up wins. Never mind points. It's crucial. Like you see yesterday. You see yesterday, by the way, how bad Southampton were, and it's no surprise why they sacked Nathan Jones. They were literally 1-0 ahead with a man advantage and lost the game. You know what I mean? That we need to go to Southampton and put it on. I don't care who Southampton have in charge by then. We need to be winning that game. We have to win that game. And unlike Manchester United today, who have got the weapons like a Sancho, a Garnacho, who's looking to get vengeance for getting subbed off on Wednesday, and that was the story of it, by the way, that he was unhappy he got subbed off. He came on and proved a point. Unlike unlike Man United, Everton and Southampton don't have those kind of weapons. They just don't. Everton, for me, are the strongest in midfield. That's why I'm hoping Mark Rocker's back for that game, so we can have a Rocker, Adams, McKennie midfield to match their Anana, Decore, and Gay midfield. I think that's going to be one hell of a battle. But I think we've got more match winners, and it should tell in those games. But listen, let's go back onto this game, people. Oh my God! Already looking to the future. Already looking to the future. Christian saying, I hate to say it, but we're missing Rodrigo's goal, and that's what I mean. Listen, we shouldn't need to rely on that because we've got people playing in his place, i.e. Bamford and Rutter when he comes on. But we're missing that. What Somerville and Nanto did, they used to give chances to Rodrigo and he would finish them. And that seems to be a dirty word in football these days. Someone just being a striker that finishes goals, the hardest thing to do, by the way. But yeah, of course, we're missing Rodrigo and we wish him back as soon as possible. Yeah, Matt, just got to make that clear as well. It wasn't Firpo, but that was playing Rashford on side. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. That is true. Just going through some of the super chats. William is saying Bamford quiet as usual, but Rutter, the guy who has not even bedded in yet, is the problem. Moaners. Harrison had his game against Accrington. Now crap. Yeah. Quinn, thank you. I'm expecting you, Mina, a Man United fan, right? Okay, this is Leeds United, but yes, I'm a Man United fan, but I enjoy your channel. Ten Hag just outcoach your interims coach. Well, I would hope he would. I would hope he would. Scubala's our under 21s coach. You know what I mean? He should outcoach him. But not for most of the game he didn't. But listen, at the end of the day, it's the scoreline at the end that matters. Close shave. Thank you for the super chat. The VAR line for Rashford's goal was a joke. I do think he was onside, but by inches, not a foot. Listen, he was onside. Close shave. It doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. At least it wasn't like a dodgy decision that we've seen most of this weekend. By the way, been absolutely appalling this weekend. You know me, I don't talk about refs, but they've got a lot to answer for this weekend. It's been absolutely woeful. Isaac, back again. I have a bad feeling with Liverpool versus Everton tomorrow. Also, that could give them more desire against us next week. I don't know. Yeah, it's worse because Liverpool are absolutely poor right now. It's absolutely poor. They're just so bad right now. So Everton have got the impetus, but we got to concentrate on ourselves. We got to concentrate on ourselves. A lot of people frustrated today, man. I see it. Man, Daniel saying McKennie out for next game. Yes, 2 yellows. No, it's 5 yellows. Daniel and Tiffany, it's 5 yellows, and then you suspended. Nate saying verbalize. I think he's prime Sergio Ramos sometimes. Two huge mistakes the past two games. No, I think today more than anything was his worst one. I think that this was his worst game. But listen, he's been good for us overall. Oh yeah, got to thank as well for on the last video, Tim Hurst, David Roberts for your super thanks. Thank you so much. Let's have a look. What else is there from today's game? What else is there from today's game? Yeah, De Gea made a few good saves. Dalot hit the bar. Rota to Somerville, but De Gea saved. And yeah, I mean, once we conceded the goals, it was done. It was done. Marching on is saying it's not 5 yellows now. The time period has lapsed. It is 5 yellows though. He's only just started playing for us, so he's got two now. If he gets three more yellows, he'll get a suspension. Let's have a look. Brian today is saying Ailing needed to come off. You think so? I didn't think he looked that tired today. It was very visible on Wednesday, Brian, but I thought today, I think for as close as a full 90 minutes performance when you lose a game, I thought he was terrific. I really did. I thought he was really, really good. Kyle saying different tactics, same story. No finishes without the Rodrigo Ramontada. You know what it is as well, Kyle, because a few people have said that in my comments as well. By the way, that the performances haven't been too dissimilar to Jesse Marsh, and I kind of agree for Wednesday, but I thought today we were using way more of the pitch today than we have in previous weeks. It's just that the clinical, you got to be clinical. You can't be so wasteful in these games, and unfortunately, we paid the full price for it. We should have come away with just a point at worst. And in the end, we've come away with nothing, guys. So disheartening. So disheartening. Yeah, he has to. He's not fit like that anymore. He's not fit like that anymore. So yeah, dark arts. He was listening to conversations between Sancho and Ten Hag. Listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Gary just saying, Rutter not playing for 12 weeks. The Bundesliga shuts down during the winter. He needs match fitness. Yeah, I agree. Isaac saying, KG, do you see us surviving this season? I really hope so. That's why I'm saying these next two games in particular. I know we've done this throughout the season in 3-game blocks, but we have to get points in these games. Everton, Southampton, it's huge. It's really, really huge. So, listen, come back to me after those two games. Come back to me after those two games. And yeah, John, I'm not disagreeing. Ailing had a good game, but he's not Premier League quality. I'm aware. But from what we've got now, John, until the end of the season, I thought he was outstanding in terms of what he had to do today. I thought he was really good. Let's have a look. Gail saying, disheartening. How many games can you sat that about? Katie? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I can't even remix it, Gail. I don't know what you mean. I mean, yeah. Listen, people, we've lost the game, so I mean, there's not much else I can really say in terms of the game. I've given all the points of what I wanted to say in regards to really good performances, but in the end, does it really matter? What does it really matter? Yeah, I mean, listen, the chat. I'm not going to lie to you. The chat is in absolute shambles today. I'm not going to lie to you. It's absolutely shambolic today. Usually the chat is pretty good, but I'm just not understanding what everyone is after, and I think it's a case of copy the next person in front of you because I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I mean, Bill, listen, yeah, this I would say is close to fair. In a relegation fight, and we pay 30 million for a player with bang average stats who hasn't played in weeks. That's probably the most sensible one I've seen so far. That's probably the most sensible one I've seen so far. I get it, but listen, we're paying for the potential. We're paying for obviously him to get better as the season goes on, but we're paying for potential. We're paying for potential. That's what it is. But I absolutely that bill is probably the closest to the criticism that I can understand in the chat today. Oh man, new era. Oh god, new era starts against Everton. I mean, how many times? How many times? Yeah, Benjamin, just on Man United as well, quickly. Benjamin here saying Wan-Bissaka's first tackle on Nanto killed his confidence. It was good to see Man United come out with Maguire instead of Martinez and again Dalla instead of Wan-Bissaka. Again, good players, but you prefer Maguire and Dalla instead of the latter two. And yeah, Wan-Bissaka came on and he kind of did shut down Nanto, but then that's where Ten Hag came in with his tactics and said, you know what, Nanto's been kind of quiet up until this point. He's got a shot away. Wan-Bissaka, come and lock this guy down, and that's unfortunately what happened. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. Listen. Darian is saying, do you think Brendan Harrison can eventually win his starting spot back? He's been decent off the bench. Yeah, I mean, Darian, I would have started him over Harrison today, but I do get it in terms of when the game's like at 70 minutes, he comes on and he's energetic. He's going to wear the opposition down. I do understand that, but I think he's probably worth a start over Harrison for me. That's just my opinion anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah, Gail, I know. Graveyard is what Everton like. Everton is like for us. I'm worried. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried because if we're going to be worried about games against Everton and then Southampton, then we might as well put an R next to our name already. Throughout all of our bad form this season, and it has been bad. It definitely has been bad. The fact that we're not on at least 20 points is insane to me. But we have to start picking up. We have to start picking up wins, man. Have to. Yeah, Ian, this is it. Enough positives. We need points. Couldn't put it any better myself. Let me just see if there's anything going on. Just while I'm doing that, please hit a like on the video. Hit a like for me coming on with this man cold that I've got. I appreciate it. Okay, here we go. I got a couple of quotes from Skubala, so I'll read those out in just a second. Everyone's just down, man. I got messages. Oh man, people are just yeah, it's kind of mad today. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of mad. Gail saying we need at least 4 points out of the next two games. You know what, Gail? I would love six. I would love six. But I hear you, 4 points wouldn't be the worst. But then that would kind of means that we probably get a point against Everton, right? And then beat Southampton. Can we really go on another one without another win? It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. I mean, Stain said the same, didn't they? Shout out Stain. But listen, it's been a long time since we got a league win. It's embarrassing, guys. Not gonna lie, looking at the table, looking at the lack of green, it's embarrassing. We need a win straight away. And just think about the boost that a win at Everton will give us. It will be huge. Be absolutely huge. Get some more of your comments in regards to the game. And yeah, and I'll just carry on for a bit longer and then take my orange juice after. Bob's your uncle saying Bamford needed to stay on. I agree. Rocker in midfield makes the difference going forward. I agree with that, Bob's your uncle. I think the three of McKennie, Adams, Rocker will give us much more balance, and Rocker will know when to release the ball. And again, not to hammer Jack because he did press very well today, pressing hype. But Rocker is more of the passer, and I think that he'll release the ball quicker for someone like Bamford to get on it and either play in somebody or take a shot yourself. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think there just will be more balance once he's back. I just hope it's not anything long term because we haven't heard anything. I know Michael Skubaka keeps his cards close to his chest, but we haven't heard anything about Rocker, have we? So yeah, let's have a look. Uliam is saying toxicity is wild today, though understandable. Yeah, I mean, listen, I do kind of get it, but I just don't get the hammering on the new kid on the block. I just don't understand that. That's just me personally. I just don't get the lashings that this kid is getting. I don't understand that one. We know most of the time this fan base will back absolute bums until they've left the club. Get behind him, man. 20 years old, just first home game today. Get behind him. That's just me though. Leeds is saying, I mean, this sums up the game. Might as well just wrap it up here. But yeah, we played well for 80 minutes, but fell apart after Man United's first goal. Yeah, absolutely. Let me just okay, yeah. So let me just get Michael Scabala's thoughts in here. Okay, Skubala's reaction to the defeat, and this is via Phil Hayes' Twitter. I'm really proud of the group. I thought we had more of the game and tried to win it. I thought we were on top for long periods and created chances. I'm deflated that we haven't got anything out of it. Sounds a bit like this chat today. Sounds a bit like this chat today. Um, top players at the top level can change game. Felt Rashford finish was a moment of class. On subbing Bamford, here we go. We thought Rutter could get in behind a little more, but I thought we were comfortable still and would nick things. So that's Kubala giving the reason there. Skubala on the search for a new head coach. It's helpful for everyone that we know which direction of travel we're going in, but the players are calm and the club need to make the right decision. It's a great group of players who will leave nothing in the tank. Okay, and Skubala says the week ahead is planned in terms of training. Asked if he expects to be in charge at Everton. He says he's not expecting anything, says he'll sit down with the club tomorrow. So there you go. So he's given his reasons, and do with it what you want from there. Do with it what you want from there. Liam with a super chat saying, shout out to you. McKennie was a live wire in the first half. Yeah, yeah, I thought he was too. I thought him and Adams were good again. Yellow cards on again, but it is what it is. Is what it is. Edward here is saying Nanto and Somerville was solid, but we need quality up top. Bamford continues to struggle, but Rutter shows his inexperience. Even though he's raw, I take Rutter's creativity over Bamford's futility. Okay. Lewis is saying that interview was straight out of Jesse's playbook. Right. Oh, man. Yeah, Leeds is saying here, Skubala, big mistake taking off Bamford. He needs to use Rutter and Bamford together against Everton if Rucker is not available Saturday. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah. Lee Waters, just on the manager thing, he's saying, asking, do you think the Ruben new coach is a panic appointment because we couldn't get who we wanted? I don't think it's dead yet. I don't think that the Rayo Vallecano coach is dead yet. I don't think it's done. I think they're probably going to try go back in and negotiate, or possibly just pay the fee on behalf of him. But the last thing that they should do is panic. And you see it now, the press is starting to run away with names of managers who are available. You're starting to get like lazy names being linked. I just don't want that to happen. That would be the worst thing. And I said it on the preview. So many people wanted Marsh out. Yes, you would like to have somebody ready to replace him. But if Marsh was still here, a lot of you would still be complaining that Marsh is still here. So listen, it hasn't gone as smoothly as the board would have wished, but I would much rather them take their time than panic and appoint the wrong guy. And then we could be in a position like Southampton, then looking for a third coach in a couple months' time. Let's not do that. Yeah, Ian, if we panic sign, we're finished. I agree. Just don't do it. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's not much else to do. There's not Athena. That's naughty. Athena saying if Jesse goes to Southampton, I'd be happy to strengthen a rival. That's tremendous. But listen, you know what happens with Leeds. You know what happens. What will happen there? Jesse Marsh will probably get the win. Listen, if that happens, then I'll be as toxic as this chat has been today. No. Listen, I don't care what Southampton do. We've got to go there and beat them. Got to go there and beat them. But yeah, listen. Let me just have a look for any last minute bits of news. If there isn't, then we'll get out of here. We'll get out of here. Yeah, there's nothing else. There's nothing else, people. So what I'll do there is I'll leave it there and give my voice a bit of a break. Um, listen, I would say leave comments, but listen, you've got to keep them clean. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, they just get removed or into the YouTube filter. So yeah, leave your comments in regards to today's game, about the changes, who you thought played well, who you thought didn't play very well today. Do you think we'll get points in the next one? Although we will obviously preview the Everton game together next week. Of course, we'll do that. And yeah, listen, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do that for me. And we'll go again next week. Just to wrap it up. Leeds lose 2-0 to Man United today. I'd have been disappointed with a point. I'm very disappointed we've come away with nothing. We really didn't deserve that. But Man United showed you today that when you've got quality up top and you've got the clinical finishers, that's the difference between us missing a boatload of chances and then being clinical with players that were out of the game for large portions of the game. Peace out, people. Enjoy the rest of your day if you can. I'm going to go and rest now. Bye.